is the way it's built, it helps you ride the hind end of your horse, okay? And that's what you're doing. You're riding the hind end. So take and give him the outside rein, step into your outside stirrup, feel his inside hind come under, and then he can turn the corner, you see? So what he's stepping pretty well with the inside hind. What he's not doing is giving it the girth, okay? So really. Well, that was a little better, yes? You know, when somebody comes down the center line in a dressage test and the horse hasn't learned yet to lift that inside shoulder and wrap around the rider's inside leg, they're coming straight at you and you have no idea if they're going to ride the correct test or not. You have no idea which way they're going, left or right, left or right. And pretty soon, zip, they go one way and you're expecting them to go the other. It's kind of interesting. So you want to give the judge the idea right before you turn that he can position himself, lift his shoulder, and turn the corner or turn off the center line. Yeah. Feel it coming up your back under your shoulder blade. And it's the shoulder blades being engaged that really get the horse connected at the walk. Okay? So really try and feel it under your shoulder blades while he's walking. Yeah, not his, yours. Yes, sorry. I did mean that. Yeah, I need more coffee. Clearly, I only had one cup.
Do you need me to bring you some coffee?
Yes, that'd be wonderful. I didn't know you were within shouting distance.
Nothing in it?
Yeah, it was perfect. Thank you.
I made it light for you.
You're a good girl. And maybe some water. Do you have a water bottle? I brought nothing. I didn't want water because I'll be yelling and Laura's here. Okay, so he's marching, 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 marching. You feel that? You want him to march when he walks, not walk, march. Because he then gets underneath himself and he's always using his hock snare, okay? There you go. March, march. And actually now I can see his heave line coming engaged, which tells me he's bringing his back up to you, okay? So a lot of times when judges can't tell, for whatever reason, if the horse is truly on the bit and if he truly has his back up, they always look for the heave line, which comes right from your ankle, right straight back.
Right.
And it's really easy to tell if he's really working or if he's just being a slow poke. There we go. Okay, okay. He said that means I can trot. She said it was okay. What's wrong with you? When you're walking, the muscles in your seat stay relaxed, okay? And when you ask him to trot, or if you don't want him to trot, make sure the muscles always stay soft in your seat. And you use one rein and then the other, one rein and then the other, one shoulder blade then the other. And when you want him to trot, all you need to do is take on the outside rein and tighten the muscles in your seat as your ankle lifts him up to your seat. And he should trot right off your seat. The idea is in the dressage that the horse moves from your seat first, your legs second, and then when all else fails, of course, the rein. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it all happens at the same time, but you always want to ask with your seat to go to the transition up or the transition down for that matter. A lot of people try and get their horse to trot from the canter and their seat's still cantering. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, I am going to use them. Now, I want to talk about your posting, okay? When you go forward, you have to relax your thigh and let your knee go down, and then you lift him back up when you sit, okay? So basically, in your dressage saddle, you're going to feel like you're getting closer to the horse when you post, not further away. So your seat goes forward and your knee goes down. So it's forward and down, forward and down. And I want you to think about touching your shoulder blades together when you go forward. So you're really just moving your upper body through your elbows. So it feels like your elbows are coming back every time you go forward. Then your hands stay still. You swing your body through your elbows. And you touch your shoulder blades together, 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 together. And then if you want to regulate his tempo, he keeps changing his tempo a little bit, okay? You stay out of the saddle longer as you take on the outside rein. And it's called a half halt. So you stretch from your navel to your breastbone as you go forward, and your leg goes down, and he'll actually just stop in midair if you want him to. Let's see you try that. So stay out of the saddle and hold with your body. Hold. No, you're pushing. Don't push, just rock back and forth. So basically you're working harder than your horse and you don't need to. Let him push you out of the saddle. Let your knee go down. And now stretch up from the navel to the breastbone when you're out of the saddle. No, I don't want you to push and stretch. I want you just to go forward and then touch your shoulder blades together.
The dog's loving it, I'm sure. Having Jack's here all the time.
All right, now we're going to talk about your hands a minute.
So,
Ideally, your inside rein should be higher than your outside rein by about a half an inch, because you want the inside rein to hold the bit where it belongs and soften the bit, massage the bit. The outside rein is the one that tells him how fast he can go by how much you bring your outside elbow back when you go forward. Let your knee go down, 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 down. So let's sit in the saddle a minute and see if he'll push you out. Just sit there and just let him push you. Don't make any effort. Just rock back and forth on your thighs. Ready? Try and post that way. Because you don't want to be in front of the pommel of your saddle when you post in your dressage saddle. You just lead with your stomach. Maybe that'll help. That's better. There it is, okay? There's no more post than that, okay? And make him do the work. Make him push you out. And all you do is relax your thigh and let your leg go down so it can lift his belly back up to you. There. You feel it? Now his heave line is working. Inside elbow can be bent more than the outside elbow. That will then keep your inside hand in correct position. Raise it up a little more, inside hand. Just lift it up where it shouldn't be. And hold. There you go. You see? Now he's soft in the jaw. Because you have a snaffle in his mouth, I presume, with a single joint, by the way he's working. So if you have the same pressure on both reins when you go out of the saddle, it's going to put that bit in the roof of his mouth. But if you soften and lift the inside rein, and you hold the outside rein, which is the balancing rein, then it softens, and the point goes down into his tongue. It's just the mechanics of how a single jointed snaffle works. So you always have a little more pressure on the inside rein. And what I tell people is, yes, the inside rein when you go forward is actually angled towards your breastbone in the center of your body, and the outside rein is a take towards the hip, even though you use them together. And now step into your outside stirrup, soften and lift your new inside hand so he gets soft on the new inside jaw. And if it isn't working, stay out of the saddle longer, because he's taking too long of a step now. So when he takes a longer step like that and doesn't raise his shoulders, you won't get the suspension you want, okay? Don't pull back and down on the inside rein. Take up and give. It's a take up and give. Yes, and he'll tell you when you're doing it right because he softens his jaw immediately. Do you feel it? Okay. But they're good at making us pull a little bit on that inside rein so the bit flattens, because that way then you carry them on the inside rein instead of them balancing off of your inside leg. Good for you. Very good. 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 Now stay out of the saddle longer and hold with your thighs, and then he'll slow down his tempo. You have 3 or 4 really good steps, and that's fine, because then it'll turn into 5 or 6. And basically it's muscle memory for you. Now we're going to talk about your outside hand. You're making your hand a little flat, and then your elbow doesn't work correctly with your lower back. So roll your thumb to the top of your hand and post through your elbows. So your elbows have to come back and your chest has to go through your arm. So your elbows stay still. Your elbows come back and your hands stay still when you post. Better. Better. Are you feeling balancing on your outside rein?
It always gets bad over here.
That's okay. Go down the long side and do something different. If he starts getting stiff in the jaw, throw in a circle. Looking good. So position, feeling give, turn the corner. Yes. Stay on your circle with that trot. Keep your outside rein every time you go forward so he doesn't take a longer step. Because if you're going to do the dressage piece, you've got to show 3 different trots in there. So we might as well tell him which one's his working trot. Yes. No bigger step. Do you feel now he has more bounce to the ounce? That's what you want. That's your working trot. Good for you. Good for you. If you glance down, you should be able to see his inside eyelash, and then you'll know that he's giving you the right positioning on the 20-meter circle. Yes. Okay, now before you lose it, you're going to do something else. So what are you going to do? Maybe come up the center line, okay? So this is a tighter turn, so you've got to soften and lift the inside rein a little more so his shoulder can come under it. Now make him straight. And when you're coming down the center line, you look over the judge's head and you focus on something out there. Now step into your new outside stirrup, soften and lift your new inside rein. Okay, I was kind of thinking you were going the other way. It's okay. It's okay. It's, it's not a test. It's a matter of doing it. So we'll do it again. Now he's getting too long and flat. Do you feel it? Show me what you're going to do. Good for you. Good for you. Yes. Yes. So look. Yeah, we're going to go the other way. So step over, soften and lift, soften and lift. Your inside hand came down. It did not soften and lift. And now you lost him. See? It's critical that you position him correctly. You feel him engage. You feel him wrap around your inside leg. Then he gets to turn. Every corner. You see, the thing about the dressage rein is you got 4 corners. You got a couple straight lines. So every turn is ridden that way. So positioning now, you can turn early. Position, feel and give, soften and lift, turn the corner. You see?
Yep.
Okay, he lost it a little. We need to get your outside aids a little stronger, okay? They're not strong enough. You've got a huge horse to balance through your elbow and your back. So you've got to really allow him to balance on your outside rein. It's okay, because it's the inside rein that keeps him soft and positioning. Take. Better. And now after telling you all this about the front end, you're supposed to be riding the hind end of the horse, right? I know. But we had to get your hands a little better to make it happen. Okay. So, don't pop out of the saddle. That tells the judge you're working too hard, and you don't want to get that far away from him. In the dressage saddle, you want to keep the same weight when you're posting, rising and sitting. So just rock back and forth on your thighs. You don't need to leave the saddle that far. But you've got to let your knee go down, down, down. There. Now you're more effective on the horse. Position. Feel his hind end come under. Allow his shoulders to turn the corner. Do you see when you keep yourself closer to the horse, it's easier to ride his hind end, right?
Yep.
Did your inside hand allow him to go under? Good, good. Hey, that was the best turn. That was the best turn you've done, and she's got it on the camera. So position, feel him react, push him around, push him around. Good for you. Tell him he's a good boy. You can talk to him. Not in the ring, but now you can. And now we're going to go the other way. So position, feel him react, then he can turn. When you're riding the hind end of your horse, you've got to, when you're starting out, you've got to give him like 5 good strides to figure it out. So position, feel him react, turn the corner. Keep him short. Your outside rein isn't strong enough. He's trying to sneak out again. Did you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you can feel it, don't let it happen again. It's just muscle memory for you and also for him. Okay, now before you lose this nice connection, you're going to stretch up and ask him to walk. Do not throw him away. Take and give on the outside rein and walk. He did that on purpose. March, march, and remember the march. Yes, yes, yes. Many times, now he can go on the buckle for just a minute and stretch. Many times, I have to say ride through the transition to walk because people just pull on the reins and wait for the horse to walk, okay? It's take and give as you sit, and then your seat starts walking and your horse walks. And you did that very well. Hopefully you'll see it on the camera. Okay.
That was great.
Good.
I thought about making turns that way before. I guess.
That's okay.
It's hard for me. I'm like, but
Well, he'll get better at it. He'll get better at it. And the thing of it is, this will make your stadium jumping so much easier because that's the way he's going to turn.
yeah.
And yes, you're in a jumping saddle, and yes, your reins are shorter, and yes, you're more forward. But when he feels you take on that outside rein, he'll turn the corner correctly, and he'll be balanced to the jump. Because we all know in stadium, it's not the jump, it's the how you get there that counts. Any horse can jump. If you screw him up in the turn, you're not going to make it, right? And this,
Softer when I got it right.
he was just ready to go because you were riding the hind end of your horse. So let's talk about your saddle. What you want to be careful is with these new dressage saddles, new meaning the last 20 years, they have these huge thigh rolls, okay? That's wonderful, but a lot of people lock their knee under the thigh roll and then they just rock, they jump too high. You never want your knee locked in the saddle under your thigh roll. The thigh roll is there, so when you're cantering or sitting the trot, you don't go flying forward off the horse. That's all it is. It's a thigh block, not a knee roll. And so people that have done a lot of jumping and whatever sometimes forget that. So the idea is keep the weight down the back of your leg at all times, and then you can't lock your knee in the saddle. You feel that? Push the weight down your back of your leg. Push it down. Keep your hips wide and open because you're not going to go flying over his head because you have the thigh block. So it allows you to keep your hips open and allows you to keep the weight down the back of your leg, and then you're riding the horse, okay? Now I want to share something with you. The muscle that's right on the top of your boot, below your knee,
Okay.
below your knee on the inside, the top of your boot.
Okay.
That's what keeps your horse on the bit. Pressure there. So when you're cantering, that's the only piece that really has to be engaged in the horse, and it just hugs him. So your seat will slide forward. You have to hold a little bit with the thigh block so you don't fly off his head. Then you shove your knees down, and then you lift him back up with your lower leg, right? So your body goes slide forward, you squeeze a little bit with the thigh, and then you release your knee and you shove your legs down and you lift him back up. So it's slide forward, squeeze, release. I can't say it as fast as you're going to do it, but that's what happens. If you find you're not allowing your leg to go down, or it can't, you're locking too much underneath your thigh roll, okay? So all you need to do is keep the top of your boot in connection with his sides, and it just hugs him. It goes down, up, down, up, down, up. Very similar to the way you should be posting, okay? Because you never want your knee to stay stationary, because then you have the emergency brake on. Because we all know pressure around the girth or pressure from the knees and thighs makes the horse stop, right? So you want to keep that free so the energy can float from your leg up over his belly, up over his back. So you have to keep your seat open so that it can come under the saddle, down the pole, through the reins, and we do it again, right? So it goes this way, all right? It's really easy to see when you're a judge how people ride their horse backwards at the canter, this way. And it doesn't work because you may be able to fake it a little bit in the dressage ring, but here again, out on cross country, and you're riding your horse backwards at the canter, you know, front to back instead of back to front, you won't have a successful go cross country. So the truth of it is, when people are riding in the dressage ring, if you notice, the president of the jury always judges the highest division, because you've already seen the cross country course, you're evaluating these people, and if we see somebody that's not riding correctly according to the training scale and they're doing this, even though we're in the tower in cross country, we radio the warm-up and the TV that's out there on the golf cart or four-wheeler to watch this person, because
Wow.
they could be dangerous. And that's why we now have invented dangerous riding, 25 points off, because if you do that cross country, they're going to pull you off the ring. They're going to pull you off. Not that you do it, I'm just explaining the process to you, because what you're going to do is teach your horse to stop at the jumps, you know, which of course you don't want to do. So that's why I'm trying to explain to you why we do this. Okay. So now he's rested. We don't want him to think he's done. 12 minutes later, he says, I'm done. No. Okay, so let's pick up the trot. So pick up the reins and get a nice walk. Whoops. You heard me say trot right through your ear. Stinker. Okay, so march. You always want good transitions when you're practicing. So in the test, they'll just come naturally. So it's marching, marching, when you think he's good. Okay, but look at your inside hand is hitting your thigh, isn't it? So that tells me the leather is too long from his mouth to your hand. And the outside rein should be higher than the inside. So either lower the outside or raise the inside, and keep your thumbs up so your elbows work. I don't want much. And let's get on the correct diagonal. Oh, there you go. You did. Sorry. I spoke too soon. So think about it. Your knee goes down, down, down. Okay, so you got it. We're going to stay on the trot a minute, and I want you to take and give. Get the inside hind coming under. Shorten his step. So take more on the outside rein and hold longer out of the saddle, so he's not running through the bridle. Soften the inside hand. That means bend it and lift it up if you have to, out of position, till you get the feel. Okay, we're getting there. All right, now you can sit, shoulders behind your seat, and ask him to canter. One step. Good boy. Your inside rein is too low, but he didn't come up against it anyway, all right? But when you're cantering, you want to feel like you're bouncing his withers off the ground like he's a basketball. Your inside hand is still too low, and it's interfering with his jump. I know. It'll come. It'll come. Keep your inside elbow bent more than the outside elbow. That'll help. Keep your thumb up. There you go. You got it. You got it. Don't let it come down to your thigh. It's only a half an inch, but it makes such a difference in your horse. And if he's leaning, put some weight down your outside leg, down the back, down the back, down the back, and ride him up into the outside rein. Up into the outside rein. Yes. Yes. Now go down the long side. It says reward. Make him straight. Make sure you finish your turn. Now position, feel him come under, turn the corner, ride the hind end. Your front end looks good. Don't push anymore, you don't need to push. He does the work, you ride the horse. You lift his belly up, 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 and your seat just follows. Weight down the back of your legs. Is the inside leg going down, up, down, up, down, up? That knee wants to creep up a little. Your reins are getting too long, okay? Let's shorten the leather and ride with your elbows and your lower back. Yes, but don't let your inside hand come down so low. Let him look over his outside ear so he stands up. And down the long side you can go. Yes. And now make a circle somewhere. Position, feel him give, start your circle. Yes. Don't let your inside hand get too low. That's why we're doing a circle, to work on that inside hand. And now through the corner, position, feel him come under, and go straight. Good for you. Good. And now we have another corner coming up. Don't push, because this step is too long. We need the suspension. There, you've got it. And now the heave line is working again. And it's only a little bit different. Now down the long side. And keep him straight. Yes. Now position, feel him give, push him around. You're going to come across the diagonal this time. Now be straight. Take and give on the outside rein and post. Take and give and post. And sit, balance, and ask him to canter. Whoops. Okay. A little too much inside rein, but that just is something we have to work on. So now he's real flat. What are you going to do? Show me. You're going to stop pushing. You're going to let your leg go down, up. You might want to shorten your reins so your elbows engage, thumbs on the top of your hands. Lift, give. The inside rein isn't giving enough, so he's bracing. Give, give, give. There you go. You see the difference? Good for you. And now we have to make sure the weight's down the back of our legs so we don't have our knees locked. And now you can go down the long side. Look over the outside ear when you start your circle so he doesn't look like a motorcycle. Don't push. Position, feel and give. Turn the corner, start your circle. Riding the hind end, Put a little weight down the outside. Help him stand up. Inside elbow can be bent more to help him stay off the ground longer. You can also bring your inside leg to the girth if he's getting a little bit tired to help him stand up. Bring it forward out of position, and as long as your knee isn't locked, you can do that. And now take it back and put it where it belongs. See if he can carry himself. He's balancing a little bit too much in the inside rein. You feel it? Now post. Go ahead and take and give and post a minute. Hold. Hold. Get closer every time you go forward. Closer to your horse. Closer. There. There. There it is. There's your trot. And it's darn near an 8. And now we're going to walk. Stretch up. Take and give. He walks on the give and push him right back into the bridle. Yes. And now let him rest. Let him stretch over his back. He's not going to be able to maintain that quality of a trot or canter for a long period of time until he gets stronger in his back, okay? So what you want to do when you're practicing is short sets. If you feel it and you have it, do one circle, take a transition and rest. If you feel it and he's getting a little break in the jaw like at the canter, throw in a circle because it's easier to maintain it on the circle, okay? But he gave you some really good steps in there. And so hopefully when you watch this you can see. But it's just a matter of taking the horse and making him come together and riding him from the hind end to the front end. And when you got him correct and he was coming from behind, he gave you some pretty good suspension. So right now I would say we've got to get that muscle memory into that inside rein a little bit and really believe that he's going to jump off your inside leg, okay? And he's longer in the back, so it might take him a little longer to strengthen those muscles. But the good news is he doesn't dip behind the saddle. So many long-backed horses dip behind the saddle because they've not been worked over their back.
Yeah.
So you've got a really good starting point here to get him up into the training level.
It's just the next step up.
Yeah, exactly. So now, you see, at the novice and beginner novice level, the judge can look at the rhythm, the tempo that's within the rhythm, and we worked on that a little bit, and the contact, okay? When you move up to training, now we're looking at the tempo, the rhythm, but we're now looking for true connection to the outside rein, not just contact, because it is different. And then we're looking for the impulsion. So when you got the right length of step out of him, and you had the outside rein in your lower back working, and your inside rein was becoming soft and positioning him, you were creating the impulsion within him. But what people don't realize is when they begin this, you're going to have quite a bit of weight in your outside rein. And it's okay as long as you're using everything in the rhythm of the gait he's in. You know what I mean? And so you just have to believe that you have this positive, elastic connection. And once you feel it, which I'm sure you did periodically and sometimes quite a bit, that's helping him balance. And you ride him from your inside leg to the outside rein. That's what they talk about in all these books. Inside leg to outside rein. It's called positive connection, okay? Positive energy. And never did it look like you were pulling on him. You were just helping him, okay? And I think he has enough forward thinking in there that you don't have to push him too much with your seat. Because what it does is pushes him out of his natural step. And then you have to bring him back and mold him. So be careful for a while to just take what he gives you and see if it's enough, okay? And that's why sometimes when judges say, horse must go more forward, it gives the total wrong signal to the rider. So now they're running him out of their natural stride, their natural rhythm, and the horse gets used to that running on the forehand. Then you have a serious problem because he's not going to want to come back because it's easier to drag themselves around with the shoulders than jump off the hind end, you see? And he's not doing that, but this is why now moving him up the ladder, you've got to know this is my trot step. Because, of course, they want a lengthening in this training test. If his whole working trot is a lengthened step, he's going to have to drop his back and push out in order to go, which is exactly what you don't want to teach him, okay?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm being kind of hard-nosed on this.
Tammy has been having me, you know, just like, because, you know, we've been trying to work on the same thing, but I get this different idea of the rhythm. And then
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Because, and he's training you very well. He said, hey, Mom, let's do this one. It's okay. I can do this one because it's easy, you know?
Well, and Laura wants to, besides the eventing, she wants to try to get her scores for her bronze medal. She needs her 2 third-level scores. So,
Well,
you know, it's not just the eventing.
Yeah, right, exactly. So as a result, you've got to train him correctly. So you don't have to untrain him. That's the nice thing about having a horse no one's ruined yet, you know? Because most people get a horse that somebody's already ruined and then they have to start and get in this big argument about stuff. Look at him go. He's saying, I can do this. No wonder he called him a camel. Yeah, he kind of looks like, you know, I shouldn't say that.
No, he has
It's
moments.
the color. It's the color.
My husband's going to love to hear you say that, right?
Because right there he looked like a camel.
He did.
Just 3 steps, but it was very obvious. Okay.
We love you, Dane.
No, he's a cool horse. He says, I'm a blonde. I'm a blonde. Aren't I cool? All right, so now that I've told you all the stuff I want to work on, what is it you would like to work on today? The last 15
This.
minutes of class.
That's exactly what I
Yeah,
know
okay.
that I told him I've done my
Yeah.
inside ring, especially the right one.
Yeah, and it's muscle memory. So it's a matter of making sure when your right rein is on the inside, that the leather's a little bit shorter than you're accustomed to from your hand to his mouth, which makes you bend your elbow to ride him, you see? So you'll get out of the habit. If your hand is coming down and below his wither on the inside, your rein's too long, or you don't have enough bend in your elbow, you know. And these are the tools when you get going that if something's wrong, I want you to know when you're working by yourself, what can I do to fix it, you know? So you need all the tools. I'm not the person that thinks you can't ride your horse unless I'm sitting here telling you. I want you to go away and be able to apply these things to see which is working best for you today, you know? Okay, so let's talk about the trot transition again. You heard me say trot, what a sneaker. Okay, I want you to take on the outside rein as you push him into trot, so he stays in the outside rein. This is very important so he takes the correct first step, the correct length, and the correct engagement in the outside rein. Don't look at that inside hand. Even when he's naughty, don't pull down with it, because it then puts the bit in the roof of his mouth, the point. Soften and lift the inside hand. Good, I like your posting. You're not flying over his withers. Because see, if you post too far forward, it's going to put him on the forehand. So when you go forward, you elongate from your navel to your breastbone, but you keep your seat down, and you just rock back and forth. Yes? Now, if he's not being soft, put weight in the outside stirrup and push him over into the outside rein. Just push him over. Say, get the heck over there. And you can lower your outside hand for that second or two so he can't get his shoulder under it. Yes. 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 No faster and no longer. Hold, hold. Chest up, shoulder blades together, together. Every time you go forward, you touch your shoulder blades together. Now you're riding the hind into the horse. Do you feel it? Whoop, okay. Raise your inside hand up. And go ahead and lengthen the leather a half an inch. Oh, he ran through the outside rein. You can set the tempo with your posting. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's stay on this circle a minute and see how many steps you have in your 20-meter circle, okay? So I'm going to count for you. You just keep riding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So you got 10 strides. So if you have any less than 10 strides on your 20-meter circle, maybe, he's taking too long of a step, okay?
Okay.
So we'll count now with the inside hind. I'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, let's go the other way and see. Now think about it. Don't just pull him around. Position. Feel his hind end come under. Step into the other iron. Soften and lift the inside hand. Take and give as you take and give on the outside rein. And we'll start over there on the wall. We'll start when you cross the center line. Get him ready. He's not ready. Okay, now he's ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Step him over. 7, 9. You need a little bit more outside leg on him because you stepped right through outside leg and took his butt to the outside. Better. Better. Oops, now I think his butt's coming to the inside, so now bring your leg forward a little. So there has to be a happy medium in there, okay? And that's for you as a rider to find out. Maybe you were pulling a little bit too much on the inside rein, and that's why his butt went out. So,
I started thinking about something else.
oh, well, we can't do that. We can't be doing that. We need you to be perfect at all times. Okay, your inside leg needs to go down, 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 down. Looking ahead. Don't hang on the inside rein. Roll your thumb up so you can't hang on the inside rein. And you're swinging your body through your shoulders like an old porch swing. Your belly comes through, 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 through. There. Whatever you did, you got it.
For 2 strides.
It's okay. Now down the long side. That's your test. If it falls apart, put yourself into a circle. Looking good. Looking really good. Position. Feel and react. Pushing through the corner. Lovely. Whoops. Keep your elbows bent. Do you feel the cadence he's giving you?
Yes.
He's almost in cadence when you do that. I think he's going to be spectacular in the dressage ring. Look at him powering through. Powering through. Okay, before you lose it, let's see if you can pick up the canter. Think about it. Soften the inside hand. Put your shoulders behind your seat. 1 step. Yes. Inside hand pulled back and down after he went. You've got to give your horse the freedom to have his shoulder take a huge, big jump, okay? Yes. So let him have it. It's the outside. Roll your thumb up on your outside hand so your elbow works with your lower back. You've really got to keep your elbow and lower back engaged to help him. Good boy. Now before you lose it, take and give, and on the outside rein, chest up and coast. Soften the inside hand. You know how she did that so we couldn't see the front end? No, we're teasing him. Go on. And he's working. You can see the muscles in his neck now working. He's carrying himself right now. So maybe we can do a little change of direction across the diagonal. Don't rush. You've got all day. When you pay all that money for 5 minutes in the ring, by God, take it. Whoops. I missed what happened there. Now, step into your new outside stirrup. Soften and lift your new inside rein. Take and give on the outside rein. Feel the hind end come under. Turn the corner. It's a process. It's a process. No bigger steps. There's no rush. We have all day.
Boy, that's better.
We have all night. Soften and lift. He can't be looking at somebody. I don't care if somebody's coming in here. He has to have more respect for you than he has curiosity for someone else. He can look at those people later. Looking good. Thumbs are up. Elbows engaged. Leg is working. Knee looks a little locked. Maybe it's my imagination. Okay, now what you're going to do is just sit, push your shoulders behind your seat, and lift him right up into canter. Ready? Go. Go. Don't think. Oh. And what did I not say? I didn't say lift the inside hand. Doggone it. Okay, try it again. Raise your inside hand. Even when you raise it, when he takes off, you tend to want to pull down. But here's what I'm going to tell you. When you're cantering, keep cantering. Bend your inside elbow more. You know how your hands do a little bit of a round thing? The inside rein only takes connection stronger when it's on the top of the circle. The outside rein takes a little more connection when it's on the bottom part of the circle. Even though they look like they're working together, the inside rein only lifts and gives. It never takes and gives. It's pulling down. If you can't get in the rhythm with it, just don't use it. Just don't use it. It's okay when you're practicing until you can get it right. Now, before you lose it, you want to take and give and trot. Don't pull it down. Take and give on the outside rein and trot before he takes too long of a... Good. And now get yourself together and go down the long side. Good boy. Make him straight. Always finish your turn. Keep going. He's almost done. Position. Feel him come under. Come up the center line. Around and around and around. Don't jump ahead. That doesn't help. It throws him on his forehand. And now when you're going to ask him to halt, all you're going to do is sit, raise your toes out of the irons, stop your seat. And pet him. Good boy. Okay, I think that's enough. So, when he's right, he's not 100% square, but don't worry about it. That's just, you had too much hold on that right rein. So, what you want to feel when he's right is that when his back is up and he's really round and working, his back will get wider into the saddle. And you should be able to feel that. You'll feel it a lot more when you're sitting, okay? But the thing is, when he's truly up from behind in that shorter step, he will have his back, you can feel it, it's flat. When he's taking the longer step, you're not going to be able to feel that. And you would never be able to sit that trot stride he was giving us, okay? So, but he's not going to be able to contain his whole energy like that for a length of time. Maybe a quarter of a circle. And then you have to help him and help him, you know, but you're always helping, right? Okay. Because we don't want to make his back sore.
Right.
But we want to teach him, this is your trot, you know? Not, that's his lengthened trot.
If I could quit messing him up.
You're not. No, he's teaching you what he wants you to do. You're not messing him up. You're just listening too much.
That was great.
Your inside hand can pick him up on the buckle. No, the other way. Take both reins in the out. Here, look. Take your outside rein. All right, we'll do it this way. Pick up the inside, with your inside hand, the buckle, and slide your outside rein down. No, but both reins.
I know. The zipper, like we showed the little kids.
Look, you're walking along. He's on his free walk. This is your inside. You go like this, but this is your outside. Then you pick it up and now you have the horse. It's all one motion. It's zip, 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 walk.
So, let me, okay, so, that,
Yeah.
okay.
Instead of going like this with your fingers. It's okay. Get up, slide your right hand down, turn your thumbs up, and step him into the outside rein. You see what I mean? So the judge then sees you as you're coming through the corner with your reins, and the horse is round. Some people are still trying to gather the reins, then their seat lightens because now they're reaching forward, now the horse is jigging, you see? So it's something you can practice and it's very easy to do, and the horse gets very used to it.
Yeah, it was never taught that way, so that's easier.
Okay,
It's a little
give it-
weird with the stops, but I'll get better.
Yeah, you can do it. So now she learned something we can quit.
Right.
Okay. Today is not the 11th, is it?
No.
Oh, good. Thank God. My granddaughter who just texted me, or
Think-
Facebooked me on a message. Her birthday's on the 11th. So I
Aw.
thought, don't tell me. And you know,
I
they don't
missed
make cards that say Grandma forgot your. It's okay. Lower your outside rein if he bends in the neck like that. You don't want him to bend when he comes out of his withers. You just want him to give him the jaw. I know, there's always something. Oops, now he's got his haunches to the inside. How'd that work out? Does he do that to you sometimes?
Yeah.
He's thinking, well, maybe that's what she wants. I'll just do it that way. Okay. The best place to practice the walk is outside on the trail. In an indoor, all you're going to do is either make him nervous, ruin the walk, teach him to pace, whatever, you know. I don't really work too much on the walk in an indoor because it's not good for the horse. I don't think. Okay, so all you do is take on the outside rein as the outside shoulder's going forward as you tighten the muscles in your seat. Yeah. Good boy. Now thumbs are supposed to be up so your elbows work with your lower back. Then you touch your shoulder blades together. Then you go forward and it keeps his withers up. And if you want a little more suspension, or if he's losing his rhythm or his tempo, you just stretch from your navel to your breastbone as well when you're out of the saddle. So you have all those half halts to be able to influence your horse. So let's go down to the long side here so you can get a picture. Okay, now position him to turn by softening and lifting the inside rein. And then you take and give on the outside, and you feel his inside hind come under, and then he turns. Okay, I'm just telling you all this so you remember. Yeah, so throw in a circle someplace. Take and give, feel him come under, around you go. Now your inside hand is a little bit high, but we're going to leave it there for today just so he understands, okay? And you won't pull down and back. And your outside rein, unfortunately, I don't think it's doing anything. So shorten it up, the outside rein, a half an inch, and get engaged in the elbows. Get your elbow in the game. Because now he has something that he can move into. Did you feel him pick up his energy level? If you don't have enough elastic connection on the outside rein, your horse is not going to go into the bridle because he doesn't have anything to balance against, okay? And as long as you use the reins in the rhythm of the gait you're in, you're not going to hurt the bars of his mouth. You can have as much pressure as you need. And sometimes when you're training them to collect and do things, you can have quite a bit of weight in your hands. And it's okay because if it's really in your elbow, if your elbows are engaged, it just brings your seat deeper into the saddle of the horse, you know? So then you're down in your horse, you're not sitting on top of him. Okay? Looking pretty good. Why don't you go ahead and go down the long side and maybe come up the center line. So we're going to ride the hind end of the horse. So position, feel him give it the girth, take and give on the outside rein, turning, 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 turning. And now you look up over the judge so you stay straight. And it's the idea of pushing that tail right up through the body. Okay, now step into your outside stirrup and turn the corner. Okay, so a little more positioning would have been better, right? Because I thought you were going the other way. Anyway, let's try it again. Practice through the corner. Bring him all the way around. Okay. Now be straight. So which way are you going to go? Okay, okay. Don't forget, every time you take on the outside rein, you're bringing that inside hind under him, okay? So if you need before the corner, like right now, to take a little stronger in the rhythm, then he really should come under himself with that hip. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I overshot it, but it felt.
That's okay. You can only do one thing at a time. Now you're going to go the other way. Step into your outside stirrup, soften and lift the inside hand, take and give on the outside rein, and push him around, push him around, push him around. And we'll try it again.
Do you almost want to see him like in shoulder 4 right before they make the
Absolutely.
turn? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And every corner should be ridden as your
A
shoulder
shoulder
in.
in.
Well,
Yeah,
yes.
right, okay.
And every beginning of every circle.
Circle.
Can I go to the left again?
Yes. So that wasn't really straight. He went right through your outside aids when you positioned him to the left. Did you feel it? Okay, so you have to keep your outside guarding aids telling him where he has to be. So outside rein takes him around, outside rein keeps his shoulders straight, outside leg keeps his hind end straight, lower your outside hand, lift the inside, lower the outside. Now he was straight. You see that? However, he didn't give you much give it the girth, did he? So he needs a little more practice and a little more strengthening in that turn to the left. So get your inside leg forward, and let's try it again. And I think your left rein is too long. Okay, ready? Inside leg at the girth. Around, around, around. You want to see his eyelash. Around, around, around. That was a little better. Let's try a circle to the left. And we'll practice that. Okay, then step him over. We're going to spiral him out. Push him over into it. Push him over into it. And every time you go forward, still take on the outside rein so it brings his inside hind under him. So,
That's better.
is that better? It looks
Yes.
better.
Yes.
Okay, so you weren't using your outside rein enough to get him connected. So what you were telling me is you didn't have your connection. Okay, now push him around a little bit and make the circle smaller. So you have to lift the inside rein a little so he can come under it and stand up. Push him over. If he's getting too quick, stay out of the saddle longer. There. And now step him back over into the outside rein. You're still taking and giving every time you go forward, but you have to tell him this is your boundary. This is your boundary. Now you can really see his heave line going. Okay, that's great. And let's do it again. Open, lift and soften the inside rein. Keep your inside leg at the girth to help him stand up, and push him around with your outside aids. Push him in, chest up, because he looks like he's getting a little heavy in the front, and step him over. Stretch up from your navel to your breastbone. That strengthens your core and it gives you a little more effect in the hind end. And step him all the way out. Now he's turning like a board, so push him over. Okay, that's better. Now go down the long side and come up the center line and let's practice this turn again. So the corner's ridden like a shoulder in. You bring the shoulders, off the track. After you feel the inside hind engage, that was good. That was good. Here you come. So position, like the shoulder in. Step him around. Lift and give. Here we go. Inside leg at the girth. Much better, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. So you didn't, sometimes people forget and they throw away the elastic connection in the outside rein. Then the horse won't go anywhere because he has nothing to balance on. He's got to balance on something. And what you do is you ride him up from the inside leg into the connection with the outside rein. Okay. Try a circle now. Ready? Position. Feeling give. Whoops. He blew right through your outside leg, didn't he? Okay. The reason we did that is, the inside hand is too low, so he's going to get stiff in his jaw. Outside rein, take on the outside. Okay, now across the diagonal. Let's see a nice fluid turn. Make him straight. Step into your outside stirrup. Change your diagonal. Take on the outside rein, soften and lift the inside hand, and bring him right around. Yeah, and get on your circle. Some people balance off their inside rein when they're posting, and that's kind of what I'm seeing, I think, on your right hand. So if you keep your elbow bent, you can't do that, okay? So he's not quite round. Stepping over into the outside, over. Inside leg at the girth. Just checking to make sure everything's right. Okay, and let's really push him through the corner. Riding the hind end through the corner, bringing the shoulders around. Okay, now we'll start a circle in this direction. So position like the shoulder end and start your circle. There, you got it, okay? You positioned everything before he was allowed to start his circle. So now you can feel his inside hind coming under. So he doesn't listen too much to that outside leg, does he? You want him to turn off of it. When the leg is on him, he's supposed to turn. Yeah, whoops, whoops. Stay out of the saddle a little longer to get him off the forehand. Stretch. Up, up, shoulder blades together, together, together. There you go. See, he's telling us today, no, he's telling us it's easier if I can have that long step and drop my back. Remember that long step he was taking? You started him today in the correct step. He's not real happy about it because he's working too hard, but that's okay. So we need to give him a break and let him walk when you're ready, not him. And march, and march, and march, and march, and bring his shoulders around so he doesn't just look like a board. There. Okay. And put him on the buckle and let him stretch his back a minute. I think, too, when we're in an arena like this, we tend to think that we're going to use the wall to turn the horse a little bit, you know? So you need to make your turn sooner with the hind end than you're doing, okay? Because you're believing that when he gets there, he's going to turn, you know? Did we do that yesterday? You go down the long side, you turn up like you're coming up the center line, but that piece is a turn instead of riding through the corner. And then you come to the diagonal back to the wall. Yeah. Now what I'm going to, yes, well, it's your turn. Because we've got all the pieces together now, okay? And the reason I want to do this is because we want him to really understand what it means to come up under himself and carry. So the half circle at that end is telling him, okay, we've got to get the hind end under. You have to still keep your outside rein. When he comes back to the diagonal, that's his little relaxation maybe, and then you step into your outside stirrup and you do the finished piece of the exercise is, can you ride him through the corner over here, okay, and change the rein. So I'll kind of talk you through it. Yeah. Okay, so what are we going to do? You got to make him round, right? Okay, so pick up the reins. The inside rein is pulling back, so he's not going to go round until you lift it up. And step over, one rein and then the other. One rein and then the other. They follow the shoulders, one rein and then the other. Okay, we got him back. He wanted to see what his buddies were doing, but too bad. Okay, and now when you're ready, when the outside shoulder goes forward, you ask him to trot. Because that's when the outside rein is coming back, and he stays in the bridle. So position, bring his shoulders around, feel him give, turning, turning, turning. Now do a long diagonal back. Whoops. Okay, we've got to fix that. Now step into the outside stirrup, soften and lift your new inside hand, and push him right through the corner, He says, I'd rather canter, it's easier. Down the long side you go. We need more trot because he's not going into the bridle, okay? So you can rise if you want, I don't care, and just sit maybe the turns. Sit the corners in the circle, a half circle, now rise, and push him back over there. Say, come on. Soften and lift your inside hand because he's not round. Push him over, Is he that distracted by the
No.
horses, or what's going on?
He just didn't.
He doesn't want to work? Okay, change your diagonal. Let's go back on the big circle. Turn. We're not going to do this right now. So let's get your elbows engaged, thumbs are up. And now we want him to shorten his step. So you're going to stretch up and touch your shoulder blades together. Okay, so now you've got the energy piece from behind, and we have the shorter step, okay? So now we're just going to take him in a little bit to a smaller circle. So stepping in, and keep him there. Keep him there. And stepping back out. And come down the long side. Stepping through the corner now. Need more shoulder blades together so he doesn't try and do his long step. And go down the long side. And start your circle again. Position, feel his hind end come under when you take on the outside rein, and then turn the corner. Yes, start your circle. Yes, that's better. A little more outside rein every time you go forward. Let's see what we got. Outside elbow. And now down the long side again. That's better. He didn't turn like a board. So we need a little more outside rein before the turn to bring that inside hind. Under the abduction we were talking about. Under. That's better. Now across the diagonal. This is his reward. And now you're going to step into the outside stirrup, soften and lift the inside hand, take and give on the outside rein, and you felt his inside hind come under, right?
Yeah.
That was correct. That's what you do. Okay. And start your circle. Position, feel him give, start your circle. Yes. Your inside hand is kind of bouncing back and forth. Try and just swing your stomach through your elbows a little so it'll stay still. And again, stay on the corner, on the circle, I'm sorry. And we need a little more energy. I know it's a fine line. He thinks energy means throw those shoulders out. Stretch up and hold with your body. Hold, hold, hold. And down the long side you go. Now you're going to practice through the corner again. So you do it. You show me. Okay, okay. Thumbs up. Try and keep your elbows. Think about bringing your elbows back when you go forward. That way your hands will stay a little still. Step them over, over. The minute he comes against the bridle, you need to do something. You can step him over. You can start a circle. You can give on the inside rein. You can lower the outside hand. There's many things you can do to fix it, but you don't want him to take 5 steps against the bridle. Do it again. Push him over. Say no. You will carry yourself. Good. Now down the long side. So the next time he comes against the bridle, you have to use one of those tools. And if you have to use them all at the same time, it might be a little overkill, but he's not allowed to do that. So if you're in your dressage ring and he starts doing that, you've got to show the judge you can do something to stop it. You can't make a circle because you'll be off course. But you've got other tools you can use. Very nice. Very nice. You're getting it. You're getting it. He's stepping right in his print. So even though he might feel a little bit lazy, his heave line is working and he's stepping in his print. Raise the inside hand up. Don't lower it down. That's okay. That's what he wanted you to do, was pull it down, didn't he? Because then he doesn't have to obey. Mr. Obedience. Oh.
Sorry, buddy. Horseshoe drawer going in.
No.
Oh, that wasn't what it was about.
No.
It was a vitamin I injection.
Well, he's being kind of ornery. And he needs to know.
He'll line out. He does this once in a while and coughs an
Why don't
attitude.
you make your circle in the middle so when he does naughty stuff, he won't kill us. Okay, yeah, good. Just saying.
No
Okay.
offense, Laura, but we don't want to
No.
die.
Not today. I have another thing I want to do tomorrow. but yeah. Okay, now let's go ahead and ask him to canter. Think about it. Okay, the inside rein was too low, so he's against the bridle, right? Lift, give. Try it again. Just lift the inside rein too high if you need to. Yes, see how smart they are? Pretty soon when they feel their shoulder being free, they're going to canter, and you barely have to do anything. I think your rein might be a little long. I'm not sure because he has such a big long neck. But you want your elbow closer to your side, and then you just give, 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 give. Don't lock your elbows. They have to give, 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 give. Stay on your circle and take and give on the outside rein and post and trot. Chest up so he doesn't do the long step. Good boy. Good, Laura. Heck with the horse. Okay. And now sit, free the shoulder, and allow him to canter. Ready? Inside hand comes up to free the shoulder.
There.
Okay? Good. And turn him with his hind end is turning and turning and turning and turning. Yes. Now you've got him at his hind end. Do you feel it? So he's not going to run into the wall because his inside hind is coming under and under and under. So let's go back now to the trot. Take and give and post. Chest up. And let's change direction through the circle. So turn the hind end. Turn the hind end. Free the shoulders so we can come under. Step over. Over. Okay. You can rise, you know, because right now it's a little easier. The reason when you sit, if you don't have enough strength from your navel to your breastbone to hold your horse up with your core, he's going to do that flat trot, okay? The deal is he's a huge, big monster horse. And so as a result, I would be shocked if your core strength was there today, okay? Because it takes a lot to carry a horse this big around the ring with just your core. And now stay on your circle and let's sit 5 steps. And rise 5 steps before you lose him. This also develops your core strength, okay? So sit a half a circle to the next. And rise your half a circle. Turning, turning. Do not let him run you into the wall. Good. And sit a half a circle. Keep the weight down the back of your leg. And rise a half a circle. Take on the outside rein before you rise. And take on the outside rein before you sit. So that's your half halt telling him that something's happening. So take and sit. Keep the weight down the back of the outside leg so he doesn't do that weirdo turn. And take and give and rise. Because he doesn't want you to take on the outside rein because then he has to balance in it. Okay? Do you understand? So you take it anyway and you drive him into the bridle. And forward, take and give, and rise. You see? He's just playing with you. Now you're going to sit, raise the inside rein, and free his shoulder, and put him in canter. Hallelujah. How easy is that? Bounce, bounce, let your elbows go. Give, 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 give. Take and give, stay on the trot. No, go ahead, take and give and start to trot. That's okay. And post. We want to see how responsive he is today. Or actually how well you're riding, okay. Okay, change direction through the circle. Free the shoulder, bring the hind end under, step into the new outside, free the new inside shoulder, raise the inside hand. Raise it, don't pull on it. Never pull on the inside rein because then he wins. He's telling us he doesn't want to carry himself as much today because I'm sure he's a little tired. Well, too bad. Too bad. Now stay out of the saddle a little bit, stretch up from your navel to the breastbone and shorten the step. Okay, now we're going to rise a half a circle and sit a half a circle. Keep your outside elbow bent a little so he can really balance in this rein. Thumbs up, come on, you can do it. And rise. He's just not as balanced in this direction, and that's okay. Every horse has a developing way. Nope, that's okay. He's trying to second guess us now, but that's all right. He'll probably want to canter more in this direction because he's not as supple at the trot, okay? So push the hind end around so you don't run into the wall. Keep your inside hand connected, but don't free up the shoulder, which means don't raise it quite as much, okay? And push him into the outside rein. Lower your outside hand. That'll also help. Lower it down where it shouldn't be. Yeah, say no. And push him around. Because see, he wants to pop through that shoulder, right? Mm-hmm. So lower the outside rein further. And say no. You're not going to do that. Rise. So it's going to be more difficult in this way, but that's okay. Rise. Keep the rhythm in the rise. Okay, now before he thinks it's his way, sit and let him canter. Ready? Raise your sit, shoulders back. Good boy. That was his reward for trying, okay? You've got to be rewarding with these guys. Because he's saying, this is what I really want to do. Now push him into the outside rein because he's not in the he's not on the bit. He's against the hand. So step him over into the outside rein, lifting and giving on the inside rein. Give and give and give and give and give. Yes, even if you have to do it that much, it's okay because he cannot balance on that rein, and that's what he wants to do in this direction, right? Okay, now before you lose it, turn, 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 turn. Go ahead and post and put him right back on his trot circle. Hold with your body when you're out of the saddle. Hold, even with your thighs. Hold, hold, hold. Turning, hold. You're not going to canter. You're going to sit the trot 5 steps. Ready? And rise. So he can't do a whole half circle in this direction. So you do 5 steps. Tomorrow you do 6. That's okay, right? Yep. You're doing well. Lower your outside rein. Hold a little bit more from your navel to your breastbone because he wants to run so he doesn't have to keep his back up. And this is a normal training process. He's saying, I'm getting tired, can't you tell? Soften and lift the inside hand. You're going to free up the shoulder and allow him to canter when you're ready. Take and give on the outside rein. Free the shoulder and allow him to canter. Ready? Yes. Yes. Don't pull down. Lift, give, lift, give, lift, give, lift, give. And back to trot when you're ready. Take and give on the outside rein. Chest up, hold him together. Hold, hold with your body, hold, hold. And now stretch up and walk a minute. And put him back on the buckle. Give him a pet. That was the best work he's done in this direction, okay? So short sets, short sets. But I can hear you breathing harder than the horse, so we have to take a break. And that's okay. You know, it's hard work, okay? But he's a lot more balanced and supple going the other direction. So this is just going to take a little time. So maybe when you're practicing, start in his developing way, throw in the good way, then come back to the developing way. So he's got 2 works on that side, 1 work on the good side, you know? But if you lose it and it gets too strong, you've got to either stay out of the saddle longer, holding with your thighs and stretching up from your navel to your breastbone, getting your shoulder blades together. All those things can happen when you're out of the saddle, right? Those are because you're never going to shorten the step and bring his withers up with the rein. I wouldn't let him do that while you're riding him, because he's
Step in the rain.
he's going to do it to you at the free walk in your dressage test. I can almost bet you $50 right now. So just write the check. Yeah. When you're working, he's working. He gets to rub and do all that nonsense when you get off of him, okay? Okay.
I don't let him talk either.
These guys are way too smart. Okay. So now that you're all warmed up, what would you like to do? The last 20 minutes. Seriously, have you been working on some leg yields?
Oh yeah.
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 And
So we,
Done my heels and shoulders.
okay. Okay.
I feel like I can't even ride a circle, so I don't know.
I hear you.
Yes, you can, because you now know how to soften and supple your horse, okay? That's what we've been doing, is keeping him on the bit and keeping him supple, okay? So why don't we try, when you've rested and he thinks he's maybe not done yet, go ahead and we'll try the leg yield. Can you tell me what you do when you ask him to leg yield?
So if I'm going to the right, I put my left leg back and I keep my right leg kind of forward and my right rein on, and I kind of sweep and catch him with the right leg and the right rein.
Okay,
That's how I would do that.
okay. And if you point your knee where you want to end up on the rail, that's where you will go, okay?
Ooh. There's a little piece.
Because it's your inside hip across his back through your outside knee, okay? So first we're going to establish the trot. And now step him over into the outside rein. Don't pull down with the inside rein. Step him over and over. I mean, you don't have to pick up your reins that way, but in the end of the day, when you're asking for an extended walk and you have to maintain connection, it's just easier, okay? Step him over. Okay, okay, get him over there. All right, now go ahead and trot if you want. I've got all the horses mad at me today. Okay, okay, so let's see what happens.
That was better.
Just
right
show
away.
me how you do it. You're holding him together with your core. Yes. Make him go into the outside rein. Okay, okay, looking good. Okay, let me tell you something. You made that much more difficult than it needed to be, because you took him down the wall, we got him established in the left outside rein, and you immediately came up the center line and switched outside reins on him. So why would you do that? Okay, you wouldn't do it when you're practicing. There are tests that make you do it, but that's not today. So now you've got the outside rein. Now allow him to move through it. Soften the inside hand. Soften, soften, soften. Your inside hand has been too low, so he won't raise his shoulder and he's not floating. But the other pieces are good, so try it again. Does that make sense? We're going to free this inside shoulder so this horse can float through. So basically you get him straight on the center line. You take and give on the outside rein so you feel the inside hind coming under, and then you allow him to move through. Okay. So what happened? Tell me.
Didn't do anything with the outside rein.
Okay. Point your knee where you want to go. Okay, now the judge is going to be drawing a diagonal line from where you start to where you go to the wall. So you need to come more forward, and that hind leg has to come in a diagonal line to where you want to be. Soften the inside rein. You got it, okay? So this other one you did it wasn't what we wanted. You need to go as much forward as you go sideways. Lift, 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 lift. Okay, come up the center line and just take 5 steps and then leg yielding all the way up here. So forward, 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 forward. Don't pull on the inside rein. You've got to use your outside rein to control the speed. So the outside rein is take, give, take, give, take, give, take, give, take, give, take, give, take, give. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. You sound discouraged. Come on, you can do it. It's just changing a couple things. Take, give, take, give, take, give, take, give, take. Leave the inside rein alone. Good for you. You did. You did.
That was better.
He wanted you to pull and you threw it away. It's better to throw it away than to let him to yank on it. Ready? It's the outside rein. Take, give, take, give, take, give, take, give, take. Whoops, too much take, right? Not enough give. So we went sideways. Let's go across the diagonal and try the other way. Go ahead and rise a minute. But keep him round with your body. He's a big horse. And I know you can do this. You just got to get stronger in your core and in your lower back and your elbows. Yep. Okay, here we go. Ready? You're going to take him now through the left rein. So make him straight. Take and give on the left rein. Feel him come under. Now you can go. Point your knee where you're going and look where you want to go. You got to look where you want to go. All right. Come up the center line. Let's try it again. Take and give on the outside rein. Feel the hind end connect. Now you go. Allow him to float through. Allow, allow. You don't have to force a leg yield or a shoulder in. You allow them to float through. Okay? Turning, turning. Take and give and allow. Take and give, allow. Pointing the knee, pointing the knee, pointing the knee. That's good. Keep going. Soften the inside hand. Okay, that was a pretty good one, huh? Did he float? Okay, so the outside rein takes, and as it's giving, then the inside rein lifts. So it's a take, lift, take, lift, take, lift, take, lift, take, lift, and start your circle right
Nice.
out of
Good
that
again.
turn. That was good.
Balance.
That was good. So don't let him lock on that rein. It's a lift on the inside. And now you've got him on the bit. And when he
Yeah, he looks
comes
so much
against it,
different.
push him over into the outside rein. Now he's taking the long step. What are you going to do? You're going to stretch up from your navel to your breastbone and get his withers up where they belong. There you go. You can do this.
She got him back.
Yep,
Look at that.
nicely.
We're taking a picture so you remember. Okay, now when you're ready, you can walk and take a break. So you're going to do short sets, okay? Give him a pet. That's fine, no time when you do it. I want to see.
Maybe I really got him along.
That's a good trot already.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to totally create chaos with it. So the first thing you check is, do I have the correct trot? Is my horse engaged? Is the hind end coming under when I use the outside rein? Just from looking at it, I have to say yes, the things are in place. Okay, and do a circle right out of it. You only need 5 or 6 good steps, and then you do your circle right out of it. Because you don't want to do the shoulder in until you lose the quality of the gait.
Right.
And shoulder in right through the corner. Good for you. No bigger step, where's it going? We can lengthen, but that isn't what we're working on, right? Okay, chest up. So you bring him over and free the shoulder. Yep, yep, yep. He can do this. If he starts to lean, wake the outside stirrup. Ready? Let's see how pretty he is. Floating along, floating along, floating along. Look over his outside ear, not the inside, because if you look over the inside ear, you'll collapse your hip. And then you'll be less effective. Ready? Looking where you're going, right over that outside ear. Yes, and ride him right through the corner. Bend your inside elbow a little bit so he doesn't snatch the rein away. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and, that's lovely, because you have him connected on the outside rein. Do you feel it?
Yes.
Okay, okay. And you want to go across the diagonal now and do it the other way before we quit? Okay, take and give him the outside rein. The whole gig is your outside rein, and you're riding him up into it. Lovely. Ready? I know. Step him through the corner. He's trying to snatch the rein, so take more on the outside. Through the corner you come. Good. And do a circle right out of it. You're doing fine. Relax your knee a little bit so you're starting to pinch. Inside hand up, not down. And through the corner you go. And throw one in over on the other side. Your inside hand's too low. Do you feel it? Okay. Okay. And take your outside rein away from the neck, away to the outside. Okay. Okay. Good. Throw away the inside rein. Don't let him latch onto it. Make sure he doesn't turn like a board in this direction. I know it's harder. Okay, now you want to let him lengthen across the diagonal? Not yet. Hold the outside rein. And now push him and rise. And sit. Bring your legs to the girth. Step him into the outside rein. You can ask him to go a little more this time, okay? Ready? Push. Go. Rise. Sit. Bring him back. Step him over, 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 over. Soften, 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 soften. Good. Good. And one more time. Step him
Harder
over.
that way.
It is. Now we're going to come through the corner and do 4 steps of shoulder in and do the diagonal. Ready? Shoulder in. Go across. Go across. Now, push him. Go. That's okay. And sit. Shoulder in through the corner. Shoulder in through your corner again. Bring him down the long side. And go. Push him across. Bring him back. Chest up. Inside rein. Soften, 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 soften. I'll get out of your way maybe. Good idea, huh? Shoulder in. Shoulder in. And go. Go. Push him right off of that inside hind.
Oh, that's better.
And bring him back. Step him Good, bless him.
Started to focus there at the end and really
He did, he did.
he committed kinda.
Yeah, he took the reins.
She's a
Said,
nice
"Okay, I'll
rider."
do this." And he didn't drop her back. And that's what you want.
And I mean, just all the work at the end.
Well, that's
It's
a
not
lot.
like he
I mean,
wasn't
that's just a
trying to
lot
get
of back
me
to
out
put
of-
together,
No.
you know, from hind end to front end. How old is he?
But I think the hardest thing is how much outside rain you get.